Hi everybody, it's Joanna and Tara Zim here from yoursacredtransformation.com, and today is day 320 out of 366 days to transform all fears back into love through love and beyond. And we have been deep in the immersion of your vulnerability is literally the gold mine of your happiness. We've been looking at different vulnerabilities for the last 7 to 8 days, and today we're going to really focus on the vulnerability of sharing your wounds. I felt called to bring this one forward because in a world where there is so much acting out that comes from not sharing our wounds, um, it felt really important to at least in some way try to be of service by offering some simple but hopefully helpful and profound tips and ways to work with that so that we can at least for each of our own part make a difference and start making a difference in the mandala in this world. So I want you to think for a second of one of your vulnerabilities in terms of your wounds, or at least the places where you struggle the most. And you don't have to share it out loud, or you can share it with me, but just to notice what that brings up for you. So, for example, one of my wounds is learning to not be small, actually take up a bigger space. And every single time that I do that without fail, I get a fluttering in my chest. It's almost like there's this little invisible filmy barrier around my heart that it's just like, ooh, I don't know if you want to do that. Oh, maybe this will happen or that will happen. And what I want to invite you to do right now is just to identify the sensations that go along with that wound state. So I'm just going to give you a moment or two to just take that in. Sensation words are different from feeling words. Sensation words are like heaviness, lightness, um, prickly, jagged, hot, cool. They're like the nervous system language words. And we always want to work, at least my bias is to work from the ground up. Our nervous system is at the base of our being rather than the top down approach, which is like, okay, yeah, there's an insight. It's going to get all the way down into my heart and into my instincts and into my body. No, it doesn't work like that. So once you get connected to that, I want to invite you to ask, like, what is your biggest concern about what will happen? You know, for me, to let myself be a bigger person than kind of playing small, my concern is always the same. Either that I will be annihilated in some way, or somebody will tell me that I'm crazy, or that I'll be all alone. And usually, most of our fears, when it comes from the ego, which is also connected to our wound, is one of those three fears, whether we're going to be annihilated, somebody's going to tell us we're crazy, or we're going to feel all alone, or you know, if you belong to this special tribe, it's it's all three. And certainly that's what happened to me, and I know, no doubt, many of you as well. So just to get really clear on what the exact concern or fear or worry is. And um, also to begin to just get really clear on where did that originate? Like, is there a core place that originated? Where did it actually start that you learned that if you were, say in my example, taking up more space and bigger, what would actually happen? Like, where would you feel left alone? Where would you be made to feel crazy? Where would you feel the fear of being annihilated? Like, where specifically did it happen? And so I'm remembering very specific places right now where I would start to be bigger and either being told I'm too big for my britches, or, you know, settle down or be quiet or something like that. And I know that what I'm saying is not dissimilar to everything that, you know, I'm sure all of you have been through as well, but I'm really open and wanting to hear specifics of what, you know, where that particular place was for each one of you. And what we're doing here is we're actually creating an open field, an aware field, to just simply start to give attention to it. Because we all know that if we are not conscious of our wounds, or we feel a vulnerability from our wounds that we are unable to yet, you know, speak about openly and navigate in conversation, most likely that is going to act out. Most likely that is going to try and get attention by sort of coming up in dynamics and relationships. And if we look at the root word of dynamic, it's actually dynamite. And dynamite has what purpose but to blow things up, so that we can look at all the pieces that go along with the relationship dynamic, the thoughts, the feelings, the vulnerability, hopefully, so that we get in touch with what is exactly there. And so hopefully this is an opportunity for you to really grow your awareness. And when I see people doing this, it actually opens up the whole field. So there's less acting out, less struggle, less suffering, less mental anxiety, less anxiety overall, less depression, less fear, less worry, because instead of us sort of waiting for these enactments to occur, challenges or problems with other people, we're actually focusing on it, and the power of what you choose to focus on is incredible. So here we are, we're in an open field, you're in an open field, and you have an opportunity to really ask what the need is. What does the wound need? And today I want to leave you with that question, because for many of us this is a lengthy and a profound and a sacred and also a private opportunity to really get more intimate with what exactly is needed. Because if you don't know what it needs, what it's going to do is it's going to like act out in every way possible to try and get it. Our needs do not give up on getting through to us. We might try to ignore them or push them away or wish they didn't exist, or something like that, but it will not give up on getting what it needs. It will keep acting out. It will keep coming up. It may try to come up in our dreams, but most likely there will be interpersonal thingies that will happen in an effort to get consciousness on it. So I'm inviting you right now to choose to bring consciousness to it and see if you can start letting this space open up and finding out what is needed so that we can bring this all the way home, back into love, back into okayness, and back into the richness of connection that's possible, both from you to you and also you to others and others to you, when there's no more need to have this not get the attention that it needs. Does that make sense? Thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow with more ways to go more deeply into this. Thank you for watching and your comments and suggestions, and I'm loving this journey with you. Take care.